They may just, I mean, I know you already pointed out that they've got two heroes that don't care about Arena, but they might just go back to it anyway. Uh,
Mm,
Depending on what LGD do now, and oh, the Tusk King is here. FY, pos 4 Tusk upon us. Love seeing
okay.
it.
I could see a Mirana come out here. I don't mind that too much.
Okay, Murana could be a opportunity here for SAG to take that. I mean, you do have the natural easy setup there with the disruption as well, so it's just very easy disruption to arrow for SAG if they did want to run that. They'll go for the LC first.
Hmm. My only worry is like it's an LC into Avenge and Tusk. I suppose they're just conscious of the fact that, at the end of the day, it is a Bat Rider. So you need some way to get some form of basic to spell off, which is why, Abaddon's gone. They probably don't want the Oracle because it's, I would say, a little bit too passive for Sparking Arrow style.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's we'll see if they can make it work. Like, obviously, the value with the press the attack's going to be there, but like you said, you've got so many ways of getting people out of that duel. It's not going to be the easiest game for this LC, that's for sure.
Mm.
LGD, they'll have a think about this fourth pickup now. We've got to see some more cores coming out, and alright, it worked the first time, just do it again.
Why not? Um, I'm just thinking, what other supports can potentially come through from Sparking Arrow here. I don't want to see Skywrath. All
They'll
right.
take the Storm.
Storm's fine. You want to be able to get in onto that backline, get rid of the Vengeful Spirit at the start, make sure you don't have. Well, the aura is going to be there regardless, right? Just because of the illusion that gets spawned after death. But I think getting rid of that swap and a lot of the abilities too is going to be hugely impactful. So that's going to be DD's job this game. And it's a bit odd that you leave the position 4 until last. I was saying I don't want to see Skyrath because they've got good saves for it. You've got the snowball, you've got the swap, so you're not going to be able to get that dual Mystic Flare down just to secure the dual damage.
Well, the thing is, like the last two games, every last ban was Storm from LGD, and I think it was just purely respect to DD because he really does know how to play this hero like the back of his hand. They'll get rid of the Venomancer for now, so LGD not wanting to run into that position for Veno, which is absolutely fair enough. I wonder what that indicates though. Like, are we gonna see another DK pick come out from LGD, or are we gonna see something entirely different here for this position one?
Hmm. What have they got?
You could still go back to the Ursa, right, for that safe lane carry for LGD?
Yeah, I think that's fine. Legion Commander doesn't have a fantastic time against it, but it's okay as it is against all melee cores. Um, I'm still just thinking what Sparking Arrow are going to go for their last pick here. I don't think that Venomancer was particularly targeted towards Felix. It's not the hero that they typically pick up if they want to throw it into that pos 4 role. I mean, Mirana's still there, but they don't really play it. Arc Warden,
Oh,
okay. Something.
oh, that's an exciting one. I wasn't quite expecting that to come out, but I guess you never know.
I mean, Rubik's still
S.
there. Nyx Assassin is another one that I'm kind of liking. Good
Okay,
setup for a Bat Rider,
it's true.
especially when you've got a Storm Spirit as well. You can, if Bat Rider's farming in a safe space, you can just use the Carapace on the Firefly, get the immediate stun out, and then zip in with the Storm and get the pick off. And that's really just Sparking Arrow. They hit the go button once that happens and look to take a few additional towers from that.
Could be it. SAG for one of the first times actually using reserve time. They don't generally think this hard about that final pickup, but it's about that time. I wouldn't mind seeing the Nyx Assassin. I mean, it does seem like one of the perfect picks here for SAG.
Who was the team that picked Legion as like a 4 or 5?
Oh, I don't remember that. Did that happen?
Yeah, it happened pretty recently.
Oh,
And it didn't work out. So
fair enough.
there's a
Uh,
reason behind that. But they're going to go the Weaver instead.
okay, so the weave is still pretty good. Like, very hard to catch. You go to the Aghanim Scepter build. You get that 16-second time lapse you can spam on your allies. Might make the lasso kind of redundant if you do get to that point where you do have the Ags up.
Yeah. I'm still just going back to, is Weaver the pick here, right? Like, what does it do in lane? It's hard to kill. You get some additional armor reduction through with the scarabs, which is nice. You could farm in relatively unsafe spaces, assuming this is a 4, or we've even seen it as a 5, right? It's been played in
Has
the
been.
European region. And a Spectre, wow.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. So going back to that Spectre pick, now I must admit we haven't seen too much success with the Spectre every time we've seen it over the past few days, but it has been very, very popular. Going into that Terrorblade, though, I don't know how confident I am. I think if LGD can just do what they did last game and just choke out God King every single time they see him on the map, just TP and just keeping the pressure on, it could be a really great game for LGD. But if they can't do that, I think this Terrorblade is still going to just demolish the Spectre.
I mean, my only thought is, what if Chalice doesn't go the Radiance build, right? Because that's the big thing that you want to avoid when you're going Spectre into TB. You can just use the Reflection, and then suddenly your Radiance burning everything else. And it's not like anyone on Sparking Arrow wants to go that Radiance themselves, so that'd be a huge advantage for them. And have you had a chance to see who's playing what on Spark and Arrow?
Okay.
Mm,
You know, you're getting really good at calling things out, Danog. You have some very nice timing. So, position 5, Legion Commander, is upon us.
it is. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm feeling a lot more confident with LGD this game, but I don't know. TB's pretty scary. We've seen God King make people eat their words plenty of times. I think. Do you think it's going to be a close game? Okay, I'll ask you that. I'm not going to ask you who you think's going to win. Do you think it's going to be close, or is it going to be steamrolling?
I don't think there's going to be a close game in this series at all. I think it's either SAG get what they want and they start just steamrolling with God King, or I think LGD destroy them like last game. But it's not. I don't think there's an in between here because with a 4 Protect 1, like if God King just doesn't get the start he wants and doesn't get the farm he wants, it seems as though the game plan of SAG is basically dead. Now, mind you, I don't like to doubt DD's Storm. That's the thing. So
Something else is happening that we saw last game. Old 11's mid again.
oh,
Monkey
okay,
King offlane.
interesting.
That's what I was about to say was I would feel a bit more confident with Sparking Arrow's lineup if they got the lanes that they were expecting. And I don't think they're expecting LGD to run back and just do the exact same thing that they did in game number 2 just then. So maybe they've been caught out a second time.
We'll see how this one pans out. Which, I thought they may have been okay to just leave the monkey mid this time, but it's probably just perfectly fine. They throw him in the offlane anyway, like up against that Terrorblade. Sure, the high base armor is really nice of that Terrorblade, but you're not going to mind it too much once you've got that Jingu Mastery up.
Mm-hmm. And we're seeing some lane swaps going on here. Red Panda's starting to walk towards the bottom side, maybe just trying to get a kill early on, but they don't have an amazing kill lineup.
That they don't.
It's not even a good kill lineup, to be honest.
They'll secure the bounty and run back up top. So hey, you're just going to be able to spam press the attack over and over again on this Terrorblade every single time he's in trouble. We'll see how it all pans out. I personally have not casted a position 5 Legion Commander. So I'm going to reserve judgment till I've seen it.
Back in the day, Puppy did it for Secret, and I think Secret are very much an outlier with is this effective, because he also made POS 5 Brewmaster work.
Sure.
And even with all of these different games and leagues and all that Secret are participating in, I don't think we've seen it more recently. So that goes to show you how effective it might be. But you've got this tri-lane up here. They're just going for the first blood early on with FYX, Nova, and Somnus.
And God King's playing really well, though, with that positioning. He's not moving out past that tree line, though. Courier getting caught out. That was FYX.
That kind of reveals where he is, right? Like,
it should.
Why would the Courier be there otherwise?
Red Panda Done a great thing there, FY. Meta popped, he's going to go in now, but no, they're not going to go after that Terrorblade. They'll go after the Legion Commander. Red Panda will be the first blood here for Somnus, but God King, he continues moving forward. He almost kills Somnus.
One more hit was all that was needed.
He just couldn't quite get the range in, and he won't mind too much. I think the whole idea is as long as God King does not die while he has committed that meta, he is okay.
Yeah, and the fact that they were able to get that courier kill as well, it had a salve on it too, so Somnus isn't going to just be able to be instantly healed back up. He's trying to get that level 2 for the Boundless Strike, but it's just going to be a little bit too late, unfortunately.
That it will. We'll have a quick look at the other lanes. Old 11 going to be there in that mid lane, up against DD on the Storm. DD should struggle a little bit more than he has been on the Viper this lane, right? With that Batrider sticky napalm spam. You are at that level 3 mark now with Old 11 as well, but DD just going to go ahead and kick a goal for himself while he's doing nothing in this lane. And Old 11, of course, threatening with that Firefly if he does get close.
He's down all the way, he was, to 227 movement speed, so want to be careful about getting caught out in the wrong position. I suppose that's one factor that makes this Legion Commander nice to play, although he's probably going to die again.
Trying to make a run for it, but no, the balance is there from Somnus. And that'll be the secondary pickup now for Somnus on that Monkey King. Another great start for him. This could be a real concern for SAG.
Yeah, this is what they need. And yeah, I mean, 350 movement speed just with a Windlace on Legion Commander is real handy, but I mean, Tusk is probably one of the best heroes that can punish that.
Absolutely. Of course, that bot lane's the one we haven't really looked at quite yet. OP God, he's going to be there up against Chalice on that Spectre. You've got Felix around the area as well on the Shadow Demon, and there's also X-Nova on the Venge. Chalice so far not having too bad of a time, sitting at 11 and 6. And, oh, Felix, he's going to go for a TP mid lane because they are trying to dive onto DD, but now Old 11 could be in trouble. Red Panda, of course, won't be able to break the gap, but they do ensure the Storm is safe.
Speaking about that bot lane as well, I feel like Chalice did such a great job down there when he was sitting there on his own, X-Nova up there committing on the top side to getting that first blood. Throughout that process, I think he only used one Tango, and he's still got 2 available to him, so it's not like he's been consistently ferrying things out, getting maximum usage out of that magic stick.
And that's impressive. Still, top lane Somnus, unable to deal with God King right now due to that meta. Though mid lane, Old 11, going to get Vortex back now. Felix is going to be there with the Shadow Poison spam as well. There is a haste rune. It is going to be denied off by Felix, but now FY comes in with that tag team. Overwhelming odds as well from Red Panda. Old 11 still trying to make a run for it, and he will be alright. They are really trying to get this pressure out on this Batrider, but they can't quite get the kill, but they are certainly getting through a lot of HP of Old 11.
Yeah, forces him to buy up a bit more regen, but he's okay, you know, similar to going up against a Storm Spirit and a Batrider. They've both got these magic sticks, so you can spam out your abilities all you want. There's not so much you can do, and he's getting gone on now.
Yeah, tag team FY was there. Again, another great TP out from Red Panda with the press the attack. Will keep him alive, and now FY will be chased down on the Tusk. He'll be alright. But I've got to say, so far, this Position 5 Legion Commander has been doing some great work keeping his heroes alive.
Yeah, at the expense of himself, though. You know, like I know that's traditional for a Position 5, just to give up your life for the benefit of others, but I'm just a little bit concerned about what its impact is going to be later on. I think DD going down there, though, would have been a huge deal, and right now it's just about getting that level 6 as soon as he can.
Absolutely. They might want to try and help out God King a bit up top lane, but it looks like he's got enough Wraith Bands now that he's just going to go and secure some jungle farm instead. So, this might be the point now where Red Panda takes over and just tries to soak XP, but it's not going to be that easy up against Somnus on that Monkey King, who is now trying to chase him down a little bit. He'll let him go.
I think he's okay to just maybe sit underneath the tower, make sure he soaks it up as it pushes in naturally. Getting a few more points into that press the attack just for the cooldown reduction. I think it's going to be quite vital for him.
It's the only option he really has. No, that's exactly what he'll do.
Yeah. He's
Sort
got
of.
his boots coming out to him as well, so that's up to 400 movement speed, I believe, or close enough to it. So he's going to be pretty speedy, you know, even with a Tusk and a Bat Rider on him, it's going to be hard to take down.
That he will be, and well, his only interest right now is ensuring God King's having a good time as per usual, and God King is certainly having a good time in that jungle right now, farming towards his treads. Of course, on the other spectrum of things, Chalice is trying to finish off that Necro book, and he's getting fairly close as well. Just needs the recipe, as well as the Belt of Strength, and he'll have it up fairly soon. Because he's been dealing very well with OP God and that Weaver, not really being harassed out too much. You could give some props there to X-Nova as well, keeping him safe. But this Spectre, currently top of the last hits board, and doesn't seem to be slowing down at all.
No, and that's the great thing about the Necro book, right? It's not necessarily the pushing power or the teamfight potential or the aura, although those things are all great. It's the regen, the mana regen that you're just able to get by staying out on the map. It means that you don't have to commit to something like a Soul Ring. Somnus might be in trouble.
Yeah, he's in big, big trouble. He does go down. They were thinking about getting a TP up there to help him out, but they weren't going to make it in time anyway, so the TP was cancelled, and I believe it was X-Nova trying to make his way up. Still, you've got FY there now, but Red Panda is still just around the corner, so FY just go and get some farm for himself up at that top lane while it is free. But DD now, sitting at that level 6 mark, is going to feel a lot more confident to just farm in more dangerous areas and even get involved in kills if he has to.
Conversely, he has gone into the Soul Ring, you know, just wanting to have that easy maneuverability. He never wants to be caught out with a Tusk or a Monkey King on top of him, just to get that slight little zip out that's going to avoid the ganks that I'm sure are going to be coming through from LGD a lot more in the near future.
Invisrune going to be found. Haunt is going to be there. It's just a casual, just scouting kind of Haunt from Chalice. It's making sure nobody's around him trying to gank him up. And in all fairness, SAG was pretty much missing off the map, so it makes enough sense. SAG, though, seemingly uninterested in going after Chalice right now. They're just trying to focus on their own farm, and that's basically what both teams are doing. Like, we've only had 3 kills this game thus far. Neither side's really too interested in trying to initiate.
It's perfectly understandable, right? You've got a Spectre and you've got a TB. Both need a couple of those items early on. Again, the 4 Protect 1 nature continues with God King, getting a few bottles fed into him just so he has enough mana to continue farming up this Tri-Camp area. It's going to be respawning shortly. Now it's just about how much can the supports get without giving up their life.
Top lane, you'll see Somnus and FY waiting around to see if Red Panda will overextend on that Legion Commander, but he's going to make a run for it. We'll just leave that tier 1 alone. You've also got X-Nova joining up at that tier 1 too, so they might start pushing very, very soon. But no, it looks like they're going to try and invade the dire side jungle. Red Panda, he'll take his outpost back, but of course they know he's there now, but they're just interested in getting it back off the side of SAG.
Yeah, a lot more attention has been paid by SAG this time to making sure that they retain their outposts. It's just a matter of, are they going to do that one more time? You've got heavily warded up this section around the Radiant outpost, and well, unless the TP come right now, OP God, he doesn't look like he wants a bar of it, actually.
No, I'll just leave it alone.
He's going to wait for Felix so they get the quick one, but
Ooh,
yeah, you've got all these TPs, yeah. It's a light show.
Jeez. Alright, well, we get the point, we'll back up. OP, gotta be careful. Old 11 looking for a lasso.
Man, that river's pretty ominous.
That's exactly what John said yesterday.
Oh, Somnus, he's dead again on the top side, so they give up the outpost experience, but another kill going on to Somnus, and he was the real pacemaker, it seemed, from last time. Oh, even securing the bounty rune, nicely done.
X-Nova, he's gone. But the Somnus kill's much more important, and they've got to be careful about that though, right? Like, Somnus needs to be able to set the pace here for his team. In fact, Red Panda probably is going to die here. They commit the lasso there from the Bat Rider, but do you have enough damage? With that double damage you should, but Red Panda, he is a speedy, speedy boy right now. He'll make a run for it, but he is dead. Or maybe not. Stick charges? No. He's gone. You're still going to be very happy, though, if you're SAG getting that Monkey King kill.
You can see if you... Are we looking over at the net worth yet? Because it's the Dire that have a pretty decent advantage right now.
We definitely are looking at it. It's looking really nice here, and this is that point where you start to question: is LGD doing enough to slow God King down? We've seen this before. In fact, we saw it in Game 1.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with the TB as opposed to an anti-mage, right? You've got illusions that can just tank up a lot of the jungle camps, so you don't have to fully commit into lanes constantly, which is why he died. It was only still 3 times that he died in Game 2, but it was enough that all that space that they created for him was null and void.
Looks like LGD are just satisfied, allowing Chalice to keep farming up. Somnus is now out of the off lane. He's just going to... Well, he was just trying to jump around the tree line, but he'll go back mid and secure that wave. Meanwhile, top lane, DD, going to be the target of a gank attempt here from Old 11, but this is dangerous for Old 11. He might need to get out of there. But here comes the Horde. Chalice going to join in now. Flame Break going to connect DD, just TPing out. Will make it out. They'll find Red Panda, though. So they get something out of this. And with 4 heroes up top, they may be able to start pushing down that tier 1.
Possibly, but again, it takes a lot of attention away from what God King's trying to do. You only get a position 5 from it. If they're able to get the tower too, it'd be nice, but is he going for a Felix Necrobook as well? That's a little bit greedy, but if he's able to make it work, then it provides a lot of additional pressure throughout the map. You're able to push waves out a little bit easier. They might even be going for some kills here onto Old 11.
DD, he does get caught out. Great kill out on that Storm Spirit, so DD now losing his life again. The push down to the bot lane, though, is happening, and you do, in fact, have that Necrobook coming out now on Felix, and he does have it up. So, I mean, he's a position 4 Shadow Demon, but if you can have it that fast, you kind of ask, why the hell not?
I mean, you can very easily get off some solo kills from that. Just pop the Demonic Purge, get your Necrobooks going, Soul Catcher, and then start laying out the Shadow Poison. Oh,
true.
Who's walked into him here? FY.
Snowball trying to delay things out, but Jules going to be there from the POS 5 Legion. And
he's going in.
He is going in. Somnus. This could be a bit dangerous. God King is still there with the meta. It is wearing off, but he still had a bit of time. And now DD going after Old 11 in that mid lane. He won't have enough damage to complete the kill. Does force the TP back towards the fountain instead.
So maybe going to look to push in this mid lane a little bit, although FY he's spawning in 3 seconds, so I don't know if they can confidently do that.
Doubt they will.
Pings start coming out.
Chalice will just push out the wave himself. He's fine.
FY just wants to be this frontliner. He's opted for the phase boots this time around, and the raindrops, and the wands, so he just wants to be able to live for as long as he can in these team fights. And like we were expecting, Chalice is not opting to go for that Radiance build. It's not that great against a Terrorblade. Going for the early Manta style instead from the Necrobook starter.
That's fair enough. We'll see a smoke out now. X-Nova commits a smoke, though Old 11 does get OP gone on the Weaver, but he's going to make a TP out of there. Bot lane, looks like they're trying to go after God King. Somnus is man-fighting right now, but he's in danger. No, Jingu Mastery and the Boundless. It won't be enough. Whoa. It won't be enough. God King still gets the kill. And now Disruption is out.
Yeah.
He's out of it. No, he cancels TP. X-Nova.
He's like, I got my Necrobooks, I got this.
Felix going to chase him down slowly but surely. And God King, he didn't TP because he wanted those bounty runes down at the bot lane. But now Old 11 trying to find this Terrorblade. Won't quite get there. Meanwhile, OP God cutting off this support Vengeful Spirit, but X-Nova knew it was coming and did hide. Now Old 11 and Chalice going to try and chase down OP God, but he has Sakuchi. He'll be fine. You don't have the Lasso to hold him down, but you do have Somnus in that mid lane, so they're still going to try after this. But now Red Panda will just give him the press the attack and he'll be alright.
So I wonder what Red Panda's going to build into. That's a big question that I'm looking at here. Is it something that enables more of these single target pickoffs? Is it a medallion because he's running a little low on mana, it seems, at most stages of the game, having to constantly ferry himself out some clarities? You know, gives some good passive regen there. and enables that tankiness that FY is going on LGD's side, I wouldn't mind it.
No, sounds like a good idea. Bot lane, OP God could be in a bit of trouble. They do Boundless, and the Snowball in as well, but Disruption is going to be there from Felix, as well as the Purge on FY. It's going to allow OP God to get out, or maybe not. Old 11, nice a great combos. Flame Break and Lasso. They do get the kill, or maybe not. He time-lapses away. FY does end up dying to Felix. Now they'll haunt him from Chalice, but OP's full HP. So back up towards that top lane where he goes into God King for a second.
He's mid.
Back into the mid lane now, but DD's there. Nowhere safe for poor old Chalice. The Red Panda going to take the front lines, may end up dying, but here comes OP God on that Weaver. They zip in onto X-Nova, swap out for X-Nova, but another zip in. He does die this time around. Now OP just going to try and get out of there with the Storm Spirit. They'll be alright. They force heaps of TPs down mid, and nothing will come of it for LGD.
That was really nicely done by Sparking Arrow, forcing in a lot of TPs. They don't get anything from it, and you can do everything perfectly like they did on that Weaver on the bot side, but sometimes you're just that little bit too tanky, and he's able to get that time lapse off and survive, and now he's farming in pretty good security down on this bottom side of the map.
That he is. But LGD, they may be forgetting about someone. The God King.
Who could that possibly be?
God King's still going. He's got that SNY up, and he's getting close to picking up the Eagle Song now for the Butterfly. It's, we've seen this before, Danog. I hate seeing history repeat itself like this, but they've got to do something about this man.
They do. It feels like the Chalice haunts just haven't been having the same level of impact as they might like. You know, the first one used as a scouting haunt. It wasn't really much more than that. And then that time around, they wanted the initial follow-up onto OP God on the bot side, but he's just too damn slippery.
A DD, that could be a nice kill. He does get a DD. Yeah, but he's going to die for it. There's going to be a Walrus Punch to finish him off. Now Felix actually getting the Purge off on FY, but Old 11's going to help him out. There's a Snowball to try and delay things out a little bit. FY still going to be alright, but now the Jewel comes out, Old 11. He's the one in trouble. He'll go down. Now X-Nova trying to make a run for it, but he is also dead. You got one kill on the Storm, which is great and all. But now you lose two supports, or rather one support, one core, and you're going to lose that mid-tier 1 tower as well.
It's not the ideal trades happening just yet from LGD. You know, again, it's God King, he's getting a lot of space from it. He's just bought up a couple of these big items from the shop. It's a Butterfly that he's building into, so obviously wanting to be able to counter a lot. I mean, Red Panda's going to die again, but it just takes so much time, and the DD wasn't actually used that he picked up in that bot lane.
Well, DD, yeah, he goes in, gets FY as a trade. There's always just an answer here from SAG.
Essence Ring, though, for Chalice. That's a real handy pickup.
That it is. It's a very, very nice neutral item. Old 11 going to join in that mid lane. Felix has to be careful, so does DD. Old 11 doesn't have the lasso, but they will be able to get the kill onto the Shadow Demon. He'll disrupt himself, but he is almost certainly just going to die. DD will be just fine to ball lining himself out of there, though. And with that, he's fine, he's fine.
I was just thinking maybe they're going to go for a turnaround, but Red Panda was just TPing in to refill the bottle. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. So this time, Sparking Arrow have both outposts. Are they going to be able to do anything about it? OP God, he's positioning himself there as like he was going to, but at least they're going to secure one.
It's all you want. And, you know, Danog, it's been about a minute and a half. I looked back at our friend up at top lane.
Oh, DD again.
Yeah, DD's been caught out. That Storm's going to be in trouble. And press the attack. It'll give him enough. Purges off the stun from X-Nova.
Cheeky, cheeky.
But look at God King. He needs about 300 gold for that Butterfly to be up now. So, still very problematic. I mean, Chalice is keeping up a lot better than game 1, that's for sure. He's only about 2k behind.
Oh, that's a deep dive.
Mid lane. They're going to make the
DD's
jump, Boundless Strike, DD. He's going to die now. The Wukong's command as well. OP God going to try and run. A great shards out from FY, blocking the way. Now Felix goes down. They'll go after Red Panda next. Great body blocks out from Old 11. And eventually this man should just die. and will. Somnus picks up a double kill on that Monkey King. Now they can go into that mid-tier 1 tower themselves.
Not sure what that dive was about. You know, you had a healthy lineup sitting behind you. They've got pretty good understanding of that because of the vision that just expired. So they knew in general where LGD were, and I mean, Tusk just isn't the one to go on, considering all the items that he started out with.
It's going to be even harder to go on as well once you've got that Glimmer Cape up on the Tusk. I thought he might try to go for the Blink Dagger Rush straight after those phase boots, but he thinks better of it. No need for it this game.
DD will be achieving that Bloodstone soon-ish, and probably hitting level 15 around the same time, so he's going to be much more of a menace, regardless of the fact if he goes health or remnant damage when he picks that one up.
Roshan, though, has begun. God King pops the meta. They do ping it out straight away on the side of LGD. They know it's happening. Old 11 gonna make it known that he knows, but nobody's backing off yet. Just stacking up that stick and napalm. This is dangerous. X-Nova could go for a swap out here on that Terrorblade. Red Panda trying to block the way. Great Flame Break, and now the Tusk. Snowball in. Roshan still not dead, however. It's going down. Now the swap out. They do get it on X-Nova. He takes the Aegis, but Somnus is falling very, very low right now. They zip back in. DD going after the Monkey. Gets that kill. Now Old 11 dies as well. And of course X-Nova at least manages to TP out of there. And they deny the Aegis off. But you lost 2 cores in the process of that. I'm not sure if that's worthwhile for LGD.
Yeah, probably not. It could have gone much worse for them. DD was real late with his TP through to that team fight. He only showed up, his TP obviously 6 seconds that it takes to go to that outpost. So showed up after the Roshan went down, and maybe that was their strategy, but I don't know, I feel like they could have even secured the Aegis if he was there the entire time.
With that, that's at least going to buy more time for LGD. They're currently 7k net worth behind. But Chalice is still working his way now towards a Radiance. Okay. So after the Manta, he decides he'd rather go back for the Radiance this game. It's going to be interesting. You kind of pointed out the reflection kind of uses it against you almost for the Spectre, but
if it was me, I would have gone like maybe a Diffusal, because they've got a decent amount of lockdown with this Batrider, with the Tusk, with the Venge, even the Boundless Strike has been used, so you can get rid of this Storm Spirit's mana relatively effectively and then burst him down in that way. Even the TB before he's, like, it still costs 50 mana to get that Sunder off. It's not like he's holding a wand or anything like that.
That's true.
And then, like, Diffusal into Abyssal is probably the build I would have gone, but who am I to say something against what Chalice wants to do?
True. OP God, gonna scout out Somnus, straight zip in from DD. They are trying to buy time. The Glimmer Cape is buying a lot of time, but Red Panda, he gets the jewel off, holds him down, gets some jewel damage for yourself. And now FY was trying to get himself out of there, but I believe he may not be dead. That Glimmer Cape again gonna come in handy. He'll be fine to just walk out. But SAG already got what they came for.
Looking to make this continue. You've got a regen rune still popped on DD. He's going to find any way that he can to continue using mana to get maximum usage out of it, but it's not going to be for kills given that LGD, they're all on the top side.
That's fine, nothing wrong with a bit of farm. He will just keep going. Let it go
but now as well, the bounty runes, they'll secure both bot sides. LGD both top side. But yeah, I mean, Red Panda, he's got plus 30 damage. He's not, you know, some weakling anymore, and he's got enough for that Drum of Endurance as well. So just by staying alive in the middle of these team fights, he's going to be getting a decent amount of work done. Yeah, absolutely. So one of the hardest hitting position 5s you're going to see, I guess, on that Legion Commander. LGD still in a bit of a struggle right now. On the brighter side, Chalice is very close to picking up that Sacred Relic, so almost has the Radiance up. Should have it after this one neutral cap. It's just, again, going to be a matter of whether it works against them or not, is the real question here for LGD. Meanwhile, God King's going to have a Satanic up very soon. In fact, he buys it out now. So, Satanic on the way. He has an Eye of Skadi queued up next.
And that's that point where it gets really tough up against this Terrorblade. That Eye of Skadi reducing all that lifesteal and regen up against the Spectre Monkey King. It's going to be very problematic.
Got a smoke rotation coming through this mid lane. They're going to find Red Panda.
They will.
Not the greatest one to be going on to. He can't save himself, though.
Yeah, he can't. He will die. But now, X-Nova also going to die. So direct trade there, and they look to go in. DD just zips in straight on Old 11 with the Vortex. That'll force X-Nova to buy back. Now the disruption is there. Old 11 still trying to make a run for it, but it's a lot of damage coming out now. DD zipping back in. X-Nova, he's going to die back. They're forced to drop the Wukong's command, but God King, he doesn't want in on this, or maybe he does. He turns back around, trying to bait them more forward.
Still got Satanic on God King, so he's feeling relatively confident here, as well as Felix on the back line. They would need to get the perfect combination there with a Boundless Strike to be able to lock him down and burst him.
Not to mention the Sunder. Reflection is going to be there. Challenge taking so much damage, but FY jumps into the backlines, gets Felix.
Yeah, now they can go God King if they want to, but they're just running a little bit low on resources.
Yeah, there's no lasso, no nothing. Meta is over. God King's out of there. Somnus still chasing shards. Going to be perfect from FY, but they aren't going to use it.
Yeah. Maybe if they had the Boundless up, he would have looked to continue that, but still, it had about 8 seconds left on it. So, wise choice not to continue pushing forward.
Overall, not such a bad team fight for LGD though, right? Like, they still got DD on the Storm. Sure, you got the dieback there on X-Nova, but it's not the worst scenario there for LGD. It's just their position 5.
I feel like he's playing a little bit on DD as if he's already got a BKB, that he can just dive in that aggressively, not worry about these stuns all too much, but he's been caught out a couple of times through the great coordination coming through from, well, it's mostly been Somnus, I think, with the Boundless Strike.
FY, gonna spot out Red Panda. He has TPs coming in to try and help him out. They want the outpost. Red Panda still going. There's the Haunt coming in now with the lasso. They caught out that Shadow Demon. They'll get the kill, but God King, he's taking a lot of damage here from his own illusions. He'll Sunder straight away, but how do you fight back? DD will zip in. They'll go after Chalice. The Spectre's low. He will use that Essence Ring and get swapped back. He will survive, just barely. And God King now, he is out of mana. He's in big trouble and he will die. And DD, he just zips out of there.
That Essence Ring, man. So busted on the Spectre. You can't do anything against it. You think he's gone. You think the rest of him will tick down from the passive damage that you've got coming through. Hopefully DD picks up that Craggy coat. There we go. But, yeah. Just being able to survive that extra second or two completely turns around the team fight.
It's a big deal. Chalice is going to be feeling good about himself. Going for a Heart of Tarask next. That is still going to be into the Eye of Skadi coming out on the Terrorblade. So you kind of question how effective it's going to be, but I suppose the raw HP on this Spectre is going to be very important for Chalice. Not to mention that even the reset potential of just kind of kiting out and back in.
Yeah. You do have a lot of that potential, right? You've got the snowball out, you've got the swap, you've got, I mean, in terms of repositioning, there's not much better than a Bat Rider for doing that. Similar to last game, might be seeing a few BKBs start to come out at similar timings. Old 11, he's nearly completed his. Somnus, he's got his queued up and is about 700 or so away. So they're ready to fight on LGD's side as soon as they grab those.
LGD. Just a couple pings coming out, just trying to go for those bounties. OP got very close to that Aghanim Scepter now on the Weaver. He literally just needs 25 gold, and he does get it now. So this is that part now where it could get very dangerous for LGD in these team fights, even further than it has been.
Yeah,
that,
this next team fight's so important, right? The surprise factor of not realizing that this Ag Scepter's been picked off. Picked up. They've been putting so much attention into Felix right now that it just feels like the team fight is lost if he goes down. And wisely, he's picking up an Aeon Disc for himself, but in the meantime, you're going to have this Weaver time-lapse.
Is that river being painted again? God King. Getting pretty close to the Eye of Skadi himself. He has one ultimate orb up now. LGD. Just going to group up and they will smoke up.
Smoke into smoke. No vision either. anyone going to be able to drop some down?
DD spots out Old 11, zipping straight into the backline, scouting out, and they want to disengage. BKB, though, is going to be there from Old 11. Now, they are still just trying to kite out, but here comes God King with that meta, but they've caught him out now with all the stuns. The Walrus Punch, he does die! He got nothing off apart from the Metamorphosis. And now the swap back in onto Felix, and he's also gone. And LGD.
Fantastic. Oh, the courier!
Oh, DD's Ags.
3,000 gold gone.
Oh, that
no.
hurts.
That more than hurts. That's like, that's a punch downstairs. That's for sure.
That's 3 minutes without that 3k worth of items as well. It's a long time in this kind of game, and prior to the game starting, I assumed it wouldn't be a close match. Again, I was completely wrong. Thank you for setting that up, by the way, Danog. Again.
Anytime. But, I mean, in that fight, Old 11's positioning was fantastic. He got the BKB off, made sure that there was no way the supports could really deal with him, and just acted as this physical barrier between them and any sort of saves for God King. You know, Red Panda, he wanted to try and do it, even Felix there with the disruption. So, eventually popping the lasso onto Red Panda just to prevent any sort of save, and man, it just enabled the remaining 4 on LGD's side just to gang rush him.
You look at LGD as well now, they're looking to try and set up for that Roshan attempt. It's going to be up in 35. Of course, SAG not willing to let that go down.
Not just yet. You've got Spectre, who's down on this bot side, no haunt for 20 seconds, and he's agonizingly close to picking up that butterfly as well. Only 350 gold away. Don't know what's going on with me.
I love that butterfly, though, because you don't really have a way through it for SAG. Like, you've got DD on the Storm who can pump out some decent magic damage, but you haven't got anything like an MKB to get through that evasion. Of course, he was going for the heart prior to this, but decided to switch out. He's going to have that butterfly up just as the Roshan's going to spawn.
Yeah. Can't ask for much better timing. That's what makes LGD one of the scary forces out there in Chinese Dota.
They do get the timing right. They're not going to save for buyback gold, though, on Chalice, so he won't have that secondary life if this Roshan fight does start going the other way. So you're going to have to be a bit careful about that. We'll see when they get started. Like, it's up right now. SAG are just kind of moving away from that Roshan pit. They'll finish off the Heaven's Halberd and God King, and he is queued up a Divine Rapier.
Let's go.
All right, why not? I didn't think the game was looking that bad for SAG, but he might feel differently, and I like it. I love risk takers. However,
great scan as well.
They need a risk take right now. That Roshan is very, very low, and they are not going to make it in time. The Roshan is gone.
Whoa. Gives the cheese over to our Spectre. You really don't see any sort of scenario where he's going to get 100 to 0'd without being able to get off the cheese.
It's a big deal here.
The only thing... Oh, they don't even have any charges of the Spirit Vessel.
DD gets started. They get the jewel off on
save.
11, but a great snowball save out from FY. That means Red Panda is down. Now SAG on the run. The shards not going to land perfectly, but Chalice is still chasing. After Felix, no. They go after God King. There's that lasso. He's trapped up again, but no. The time lapse will save, but is it going to save him long enough?
Satanic.
He pops the Satanic. He's still going.
Again.
The snowball, though, saving the day from FY. Chalice goes back in on God King. Now DD zips in. They're all falling low, but it looks like the side of LGD are the ones that are losing this fight, as now DD back onto X-Nova. And God King, he was so close to dying that whole time, but they kept him alive long enough.
Oh, he's a raid boss, MLP. There's nothing they could do to take him down.
Oh,
some great item usage. I don't think they even used the time-lapse on him. OP God was being in position to try and get that off for him, but perfect item usage, perfect Satanic usage, gets the Sunder off onto the ideal target, dodges out with a Manta style early up, and man, they don't have buyback on the Spectre.
Oh, it's a real problem. They lose this game, they're out. We talked about it just before that Roshan fight. Buying out that butterfly was going to leave no buyback gold. And they're going for T4s. They know. They spotted it out. Now, LGD, how do you defend this? Or can you defend this? God King keeps going for those tier 4 towers. He takes them really darn fast with all those illusions. Now FY gets jumped on by DD. He'll get swapped out by X-Nova. Still, they are out of tier 4 towers now. The Ancient is exposed. Boundless Strike is there. Wukong's command. They're zoning him out. God King, he has been disrupted. But can they get him out in time? He sunders. They've still got the time-lapse, but now the lasso comes in. Time-lapse is there immediately. OP God still trying to fight back. Now they zip in DD. He does get one. He'll get two. And the Ancient still exposed. They'll go back for it. FY trying to do something, but I don't know if they can defend this any longer. God King, he does get it. Oh, SAG, they've done it. They beat LGD, and they will go through to the lower bracket final.
What just happened? Like that is a level of composure that you would expect from LGD. You know, like being able to take a team fight like that. You've just lost the Aegis, or rather, they didn't even contest it, and to go down on Chalice without using the cheese is a big mistake, I suppose, thinking, no, surely he can't 1v4 us, but at the end of the day, God King Terrorblade is just something that people are going to need to ban out first phase.
I mean, I believe it was Moon Meander who actually tweeted out, is there any big fans of God King out there? I think this is the next big player out of China, quite frankly. Like, he is just so damn good. But you keep pointing out as well, like, it's not just him. His team allows him to have that good of a game. You know, he does have an amazing team, and SAG, as a team in general, they're one to watch throughout these next couple days. See what they can do. But now, Danog, the night is still young, and we have another series upon us. The upper bracket final. Vici Gaming versus Raw Never Give Up is coming up next. And I don't believe the wait is going to be too long either. We're probably going to be waiting about 10-15 minutes. So stick around. It is MLP Dota and Danog. We'll see you all again very, very soon for the upper bracket final. See you then.